Hiya, I'm James, and today we're going to be cooking a sweet potato curry. I've got a couple of large sweet potatoes here. We've got some green peppers, some red onions and some garlic, some coconut milk, some mild curry powder and some self-raising flour. And then in here is just a little bit of vegetable stock. Chicken stock works equally well. So first job, this pan's already warm. We're going to put some oil in here. And we are going to gently sweat down our onions and garlic. We're not looking to blister them, so don't have it on a really high heat. It is just to start slowly drawing that flavour out and gently soften them. We can add some salt at this stage, a little bit of pepper. Turn up slightly. Now with a curry you do need a lot more oil than you'd normally use in cooking because everything's going to soak it up to start with anyway, but we've also got the spice to go in, so that spice will draw all that oil straight out of the pan and then it will begin to toast, but we don't want to add it to it and start burning it, so keep an eye on it the whole way through. And if you look, the pan is reasonably dry, so we can just add another little glug, and you'll see the whole way through that the oil is going to constantly disappear. Right, so they're starting to soften, so now we're going to go in with our sweet potato. That'll probably be enough. The recipe says 4. These were absolutely massive ones, so I won't need all of them. We can save them back for mashed potato with another meal or something like that. Just keep moving around the whole time. And already you can see in the bottom of this pan the oil's gone. So again, we'll just add some more. Add a little bit more salt. Season the whole way through it, so you're really building up them strong flavours. You're seasoning everything that's in there. Otherwise, you get to the end and you've got a really bland tasting curry. It'll just taste curry powder. Now we can go in with our green peppers. Just gently cook them down. You're going to add a little bit of tomato puree. This is really good to add before your paste, so you're almost going to roast it off in the base of the pan, so a good couple of teaspoons. And this will also help to thicken it, so I'll give it a real depth of flavour, that like sweet sour flavour that tomato paste has, or all tomatoes have. And we're just going to cook that, really cook it out in the bottom of the pan. Add a touch more oil. We're not looking to really colour this up, we are just sealing it in, if you like, sealing all that lovely flavour inside them vegetables. And then we can go in with our spice. You can add more spice if you like. You can add paprika, turmeric, all sorts, but just a little bit of mild curry powder is fine for what we're doing. And I think a lot of children prefer that. We'll just keep this moving so we don't burn the spices, and we are going to cook this out in the pan now for around 2 to 3 minutes, just constantly stirring it every 30 seconds just to make sure it's not catching. So that's softened up now, happy with where that's at. So what we need to do, we've got our stock here, just vegetable stock, it's half a litre. Straight in. We'll add our coconut milk. So that coconut milk, as it reduces, will really thicken up. So will the tomato puree help do it as well. For a meal to actually be a curry, it has to have coconut milk in. So If you put loads of spices in a dish and you haven't added coconut milk, it isn't actually technically a curry. This stage where we put coconut milk in it is the stage where your dish becomes a curry. So what we'll do now is turn this down to really low. And just give it a final stir in, and hopefully that'll bubble over. And that's really going to take probably about 20 minutes at a low temperature. If you're in a proper rush, you could cook it on high, but it's really nice for that just to simmer down gently. Then I'm going to tidy up, and we're going to make some flatbreads while it cooks. So while that's ticking over nicely, we've got some self-raising flour here, and just some natural yoghurt. Any yoghurt will do. This is like a large pot, 40p. I've got a little bit more flour than I need, so the easiest way, rather than weighing it out, if you just get 2 cups, fill one level with flour, one level with yoghurt, and that's the right quantities, but just do another little quarter of flour just for your bench, to be able to flour your bench, flour your rolling pin to stop everything getting sticky. So I have got just a little bit more flour here than I need. So straight in like that. Nice pinch of salt. Good couple of turns of pepper. So grab a spoon and mix that together. Use a spoon at first, of course it's going to be sticky, and once it's come together we can get stuck in there with our hands. Really work it. It's good to make it while this is cooking because it gives a chance for the dough to rest. A little bit more flour in there. So I'll just get some more flour. You can see it is just by, sometimes it will take a little bit more, sometimes it won't. So it's mixed together and we'll just let it rest for a couple of minutes. So it's had a few minutes to rest, and this is the kind of consistency we're looking for. If your yogurt's thinner, so the one I made the other day had a lot thicker yogurt, so it really did only take equal quantities of flour. But if you have got a slightly thinner yogurt, just add more flour until you get this sort of doughy, stretchy consistency, and then if you leave it to rest, the glutens will relax and it's a lot easier to work. So that's why we make it earlier on and we can rest it for as long as we need to. But I've topped my flour up, so I've got a little bit more flour to spread over the top. Then all we're going to do is split it into 4 even balls, even-ish. You could split it into 6 and have a lot smaller ones, but just one flatbread each is probably plenty. Give your rolling pin a good coat in flour so it doesn't stick, and then just roll out nice and thin. The thinner the better really, because they get nice and puffy when you fry them. They catch the air pockets a bit like a naan bread would. So a nice size, that size of a starter plate or a dinner plate, like that's great. As long as they've got a nice layer of flour between them, they won't stick. We can just leave them there until we need them. So I'm going to get tidied up. That's probably about 10 minutes away now. So we'll just cook it down until it thickens up slightly more and the sweet potatoes soft, and then we'll toast up our flatbreads. Right, so the curry's nearly there. I'm just going to move it onto the back stove just to finish off while we toast our flatbreads up. So we'll get this on super high up to the highest temperature it goes, and just leave it to get hot. Don't try and cook them too soon. And you just need a little smidge of vegetable oil or olive oil if you've only got olive oil, either or. We'll do one at a time. And we're just going to cook it for about 2 minutes on one side, and it should start puffing up in places. You can see that already all around here, because it traps the air. And then once it gets toasted on one side, we'll flip it over and repeat the same process, and we'll just keep them firing through. These are also really good as well to cook straight over a fire. If you've got a barbecue going and you wanted something different to serve with your barbecue, while the coals just start to die down, sling these over the top and they're great. Right, so that's the last one done. They're sort of about 20 seconds each side, sometimes a bit longer, depending on how thin they've been rolled. And grab our curry. So that's had about 20 minutes ticking over now, all nice and tender, nice and thick sauce. You can cook it for as long as you like. If you want to keep taking it down to make a much thicker curry, that's probably perfect consistency for me. You could at this stage add some broccoli to it if you fancied. You could add some spinach, any greens like that, soft greens just to fold through it. Would finish it off really nicely. It's got some coriander, parsley, any fresh herbs. And that's it, it's ready to go. So that's the butternut squash curry with flatbreads.